Guys, what's the crack? Crypto with Dinny, it's Dinny here, broadcasting from the car where I do my best work. Is your crypto safe? That's what I chat to you a little bit about today. So you understand the pros and cons of where you're keeping your crypto and what the risks are. Because there's all sorts of different places where we can store crypto, and there's pros and cons to them all. So that's what I'm going to chat about today. I left Facebook, YouTube, notify the Crypto with Dinny community that I'm live, and then we get stuck in. So in the meantime, I'll give my little spiel while people are jumping on. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Financial advisors don't have cool hats like that, Bitcoin hats, okay? So don't take anything that you hear on Crypto with Dinny as financial advice. I'm just a Bitcoiner, I'm a cryptocurrency investor, and I like to teach people about Bitcoin. I teach financial advisors about Bitcoin all the time, but I'm not a registered financial advisor. So, no financial advice. Entertainment, we'll call it. Hope you're having a good Friday. I've got the workout in this morning. I'm on day 4 of my water fast. Feeling pretty good, with pangs of feeling horrible. Feeling very hungry, but nah, feeling good. It's all good. What else was I going to say to you there? Remember to be scammers in the comments, impersonating me, running some sort of silly competition. Please don't fall from Crypto with Dinny community. Don't send your Bitcoin to anyone. Don't let anyone trade your money for it. You will not get your money back. Just be aware of that stuff. On social media, it's very easy to impersonate people. And if you get any messages from me, it's not actually from me. It's from someone trying to scam your money. So block them immediately. Anyway, now that's all out of the way, we'll chat a little bit about oh yeah, hold on a minute. I did say I was at the gym this morning, so I've done my daily exercise. Haven't eaten for 4 days, and you still can't go to the gym. But let's see if we get this thing sideways. Oh no, we can't. Traction controls on. You can't be at that though. There was just muck all over the roundabout. What was I going to say? Yeah, daily exercise. Hit the like. Give it a nice strong little press. A light press, a strong press. You know, it depends. If you've got a gun show, squash the screen, try and crack it, but just do a nice little press. Now, let's just get around here into the slow lane so we can just cruise. So I want to talk just a little bit about wallets, guys, and the different places where you can store and hold your crypto, and what are the risks. Because Crypto.com was hacked this week, and initially they said it was a 5 million hack and it was all fine and grand. And then they actually said it was a 10 million hack, and then now we know it was a $43 million hack. And exchanges get hacked all the time, and it's a risk if you're going to keep your cryptocurrency on an exchange. In the earlier days of crypto, Mt. Gox was the largest crypto exchange in the world, and it was hacked and cleaned out, and everyone lost their money, everyone lost their Bitcoin. So you need to understand that by you not holding your crypto yourself, there's what's called counterparty risk. And that just means that, you know, there's a risk with a counterparty, okay? Bitcoiners and crypto people, by their nature, I suppose, are very mistrusting, and they don't trust anyone. So a lot of Bitcoiners there's a saying in crypto, and it's not your keys, not your crypto. Unless you control the private keys, you don't really own the crypto. So by holding your crypto on the likes of any of the exchanges, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, whatever, they hold the private keys. So essentially, they own the crypto. And if they get hacked and the Bitcoin is taken, or whatever the crypto is, you know, potentially you can lose your coins. Obviously, some of them have some sort of insurance, or they have assets backing them up. But if they get cleaned out and there's nothing there, there's nothing there. The assets are gone. So it's bye-bye crypto, just like what happened to Mt. Gox. So it is an inherent risk keeping crypto on exchange. Now, it's not all bad, so stick with me. If you choose then, I see my scammers in the comments, please ignore them. I'm giving away 50 Bitcoin. I wish I owned 50 Bitcoin. I certainly wouldn't be giving them away. If you then choose, so we go into this on my bootcamp workshop in great detail, but I'll just summarize it here because I know I have a lot of new people coming on, just so you understand the basics. So there's 2 basic places. We'll just stick with 2 places we can store crypto. We can store it online at an exchange. Okay, well, there's 3. I'll give you 3. We can store it in a hot wallet, which is an online wallet. Okay, or the 3rd place is we can put it in what's called cold storage, and that means you put it onto, you know, a Trezor or a Ledger. Okay, so taking your crypto and taking self-custody, if you want to control the private keys, it means you'll be transferring your crypto onto a Ledger wallet, onto a Trezor wallet, one of these devices. With that though, there are risks. It's not risk-free. Because with the counterparty risk of holding your crypto on the likes of Crypto.com or a Coinbase or any of these, they're looking after the security, they're managing the private keys, they're doing all that. If you take custody of it and you're going to use the hardware wallet, well, now it's all on you. And if you screw up, you can actually potentially lose your crypto. I was down with a lad there last week, and there was a large sum of money, I think it was about 50k, and we weren't sure was the wallet set up. And to be honest, I was a little bit nervous for a while, and we had to get an expert in to be able to recover the funds. But you can screw up a hardware wallet if you don't know what you're doing. So me personally, I do both. I wouldn't hold all my crypto on hardware wallet because I don't trust myself. What if I fall off a motorbike, forget who I am? And I don't hold all my crypto on crypto exchange because I don't trust them. So I like to hedge. So you're getting the best of all scenarios, and you're hedging your risk, or you're de-risking your positions by having multiple positions and not having all your eggs in one basket, I suppose. So traditionally, as we say in crypto, not your keys, not your coin. But however, for new people, for people who don't know what they're doing, and I get clients all the time on my private consulting, and they have a few quid behind them, and they're coming in, they're going to buy a Bitcoin, or they're going to buy 3 Bitcoin. Like, that's a serious wedge of cash for someone who has no experience with using a wallet to go and slap it on a wallet there and then. I think it takes a little bit of time to learn how to use a wallet, and you're better off using small amounts. Set up your wallet, get used to the custody, learn all the things you need to learn about. You might do it all in the bootcamp, and transfer a few bob over to it and get used to just moving funds on it, and how to manage your private keys and understand your private keys. And again, another problem with wallet, and I suppose this is a problem with exchanges, anything where you get a seed phrase, is if you don't understand how to manage your seed phrase, and you think you're just updating your wallet, and you're putting your seed phrase into a hacker's fucking scam link, like, it's bye-bye crypto. So you do have to be vigilant, and you have to understand, and you need to invest a bit of time or go and get some training from someone who understands this stuff. If you're going to put a substantial amount of your assets onto a hardware wallet, because there are risks with them. So the long and short of this is that there's risks regardless of where you're going to keep your crypto. Okay? And depending on how long you've been in crypto and how well you understand how to self-manage your assets, it could be more risk for you by trying to take the crypto into your hardware wallet, because maybe you're not confident and capable yet of actually doing it. And like, if you screw up on a wallet, if you screw up transferring your Bitcoin, you can potentially lose it all, and it can't be undone. So there are risks. So it's not exchanges are all bad. Exchanges are amazing, and they protect people who aren't yet competent to take personal custody. And as I say, I like to hedge, so I do both. Guys, if you like the tips, thanks for the like button. It's awesome. Hope you got a little bit of value from that. You can see the difference between the two. As I say, I like to hedge. Next problem with a hardware wallet is, of course, if you have a hardware wallet, okay, and let's say you have 10 grand on it, I wouldn't be comfortable keeping that in my house, because I wouldn't be comfortable keeping 10 grand cash in my house, because someone could break in and steal it. You don't want that. So then you have a security of where you're going to keep your wallet. As an additional layer, then the wallet has to go into a bank safety deposit box somewhere. If you're very security conscious like me, you put them on time lock, so even you can't get access to them for a week. Stops you panic selling, which is always a regret. But these are the sort of things that, as you come deeper into crypto and you start to build a retirement plan, and you want to protect it. You want to protect it from all eventualities, from the house burning down, from the house being flooded, and you're trying to think of all outcomes. And that's why I like hedging between using hardware wallets, using crypto exchanges, and using crypto custodians. I didn't touch on them yet, but I don't want to go through too much and confuse us all. Anyway, hope you got a bit of value out of that. Crypto.com are going to need to reduce Matt Damon's wages to recoup this 43 million that they've lost. Now, in fairness, it's probably a drop in the ocean to them, to Crypto.com, at the scale of that company at the minute. But still, no company is infallible. No company is above being hacked. Crypto exchanges are constantly being hacked, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and all these hackers have to do is get in. I think they got into, what did I hear it was? I think it was about 150 accounts that they got the 43 million from. So they were obviously pretty high, decent accounts for 140 people to have 43 million. between them all. So maybe the small fish are a little bit safer. We're all right. But once you understand the risks and the various risks of everything, guys, have an awesome day. Thanks for hitting the like button. And if you're not subscribed, if you don't like the page, the channel, hit the subscribe button. Become part of the community. You don't miss the videos. You'll have the crack. And if you'd like to do my Bitcoin basics, if you're new to the page, it is on Thursday the 3rd of February. We done one last night. Had about, I think we had 60 in. Great crack. But the next one is next Thursday the 3rd of February. You can get your ticket there free on cryptowithdinny.com. Go check it out. And if you're new, get my 5 things to know before you buy Bitcoin and crypto from my website. After all that, I'll just have to say, have a good Friday, guys. Dinny out.